Hello, welcome to Heroes Explain, where we explain the heroes that we've created over the years. Today, I'm going to be talking about the futuristic knight. He's one of my older superheroes I created probably when I was around 8 or 7. Um, I've really progressed his story. He's one of my favorite characters to story. Like, he's really awesome. And so there are a few things I'll have to explain before I get it really fully talking about him. So his first of all, his grandfather, I'm pretty sure I mentioned him fight me. He was evil and pretty much tormented everybody around the land, like around the small kingdom knew him, kind of destroyed most of it, and then later turned into stone. And people still didn't really outside the kingdom. They still pretty much hated him. The people in the kingdom knew that he would protect them because he's very powerful, and so he had two sons, an adopted son. So the two sons, one was called went by Assassin, who is pretty much the greatest assassin of all time, and his brother, ex assassin, who is another great assassin, is if you can't tell, and then another who was adopted, who really doesn't go by a name. He's a nameless person, but everybody pretty much knows him. You know that person, but you don't know the name of. Like he never really had a name. And so, Assassin, the greatest assassin, he had a child. And so the child went to normal school and stuff, and sometimes helped his dad rob kingdoms and stuff. And so people bullied him all the time because of his family. Because his two uncles, the one that was adopted, nobody really knew about. He was kind of a phantom, nobody really knew anything about him. So, but his other uncle was an assassin who killed people and took money and stuff. And so people just bullied him for that. And his father was an assassin who murdered people and stole, like, robbed kingdoms in seconds before anybody even knew he was in the kingdom. So his grandfather, from what they know, destroyed, pretty much ruined a kingdom, and like was unrivaled by anyone. Like nobody could rival him. And so he got bullied when he would come to school, and before, like when he was leaving the school, he got bullied. And one day he broke a kid's arm. So this is around when he was 10. So he's walking out of school, pretty much the same time every day they would beat him up. And he was talking to his dad about it because he didn't see his dad often, but when he did, it was still his father. So he still loved him, and his father, assassin, still loved him. His child, he just knew that he couldn't be with him all the time because he wanted to get money to keep him in school and stuff. And so, he told his father, and his father was like, "Use the moves that I've taught you over the years." And so out of pure instinct and hatred, he broke the guy's arm, like the kid's arm, and said, "Stay away from me. Literally, I will kill you next time you do that." Pulled out a knife and was like ready to kill them. So they're like, "Whoa, okay, we'll leave you alone." And they left. So he walked away. And the very next day before he entered the school, people ran up, put him in a sack, and ran away with him. And so didn't know where he was until he heard cheering and screaming and crying. And when they took him out of the sack, he was in a, what is it called? A cage. And they locked him in it. And they were like, "You're gonna fight and you're gonna try to win or just die." And so he pretty much was super sad, like, why am I here? My whole life's been horrible, one mistake after another. I've been bullied all my life, and I just broke some kid's arm and almost killed him. Like, I don't know what's happening to me right now, you know? Do I really deserve this and stuff? And so he got to talk with one of the people who was around his age, and he's like, "Where am I?" He said, "You're in the so on so kingdom." I don't have a name for it, so we'll just say the Brixton Kingdom. So it's like you're in the Brixton Kingdom, and it was well known for gladiatory arenas. And people always didn't know how people always signed up, like why were they signing up to fight? And he was like, well, he just realized that they just take people. And so like he's like they became friends overnight, and the very next day they got to train. They had a 1 day to train. He really didn't train as much because he pretty much was taught to be a killer. Like he was taught to be the next greatest assassin, you know. So he trained a little bit, but most of the time he was just trying to talk to the kid and taught the kid a couple moves, you know, to survive. And the very next day, he had a fight coming up. And they never said who was fighting. And so when he got into the arena, the doors open and it was the kid that he was becoming friends with. And so he pretty much he started telling the kid that he wouldn't fight, and he was like, I really won't kill you, you know. And there people were screaming, boo, kill him, kill him, kill him. And he was really like, I'm not gonna do it and stuff. And so they're like, then we'll kill the kid. And so he's like, okay. And he was fighting, they're fighting, he's really sad about it, and he accidentally sliced the kid's throat. And you're probably thinking, how do you accidentally? It was just fight, you know, they're swinging swords, and his, you know, hatred kicked in, you know, because he was bleeding and he was kind of achy and like mad about this whole situation. So he kind of like swung really hard and slit the throat. He started crying on the ground that he killed his friend, and they're like, you're moving on. And so later on, he realized that you get 1 minute with the opponent you're going to fight before the match to like gloat and be like, I'm going to kill you, you know, trash talk. And so pretty much what he did is he devised a plan to make it look like he killed the person, but not killing him. So he just didn't want to kill any more people. And so he's going. It was the very next fight. He did this whole cool fight. He like made the whole fight like look real, and he even what is it called? Sliced a little bit to make it look like blood was like on the guy and stuff. And so he had like a wound, but it wasn't like significant. So they were fighting, and he pretty much kept doing it until the last guy, and he was telling the dude he like because they would put the dead bodies in a sewers kind of, and the water would just float it away outside of the kingdom, and then the people would like burn the bodies. And so he pretty much was like, when you get into the sewers, they will watch you go downstream for a little bit and then leave. And so he left a map to get out. And so uh he pretty much what is it called? He got the map. So you're thinking probably, hey, how do you get a map to the sewers? First time the guy went scoured the place to get a way out, came back and wrote a map for the first guy that he fought did that. And so he in the end the guy was kind of hesitant to let the kid win. Like the main guy was hesitant. I mean the non-main guy was hesitant to let the main guy win. And so they were fighting and you know really going, and the other dude was actually trying to fight. So what the main kid futuristic knight had to really fight hard and choked the dude out, making it look like he killed the dude. And he actually had to hurt the dude like pretty bad. And so they did the whole thing. He got away, and in the end, he pretty much got his freedom. And it's been 2 years up to this point. And so here I sorry I got interrupted by Jomers. Okay. So pretty much he won, got his freedom. It's been 2 years. He gets out. His father actually was looking for him and killed a lot of people looking for him, like torture, try to find where his son is and stuff. And he even got his siblings to help look, and they just didn't find him. And he got out. He's just after a few seconds of being out, he was like, I need to stop this from ever happening to any other kids. And so he snuck in that while an arena like a fight was going on. And he walked up to the king and started pretty much threw him a sword and was like, I'm gonna fight you and kill you so I can topple this gladiatory arena. And so he pretty much started fighting. He killed the king in front of everyone and pretty much was like, this will never happen again. And if you do this again, I will kill every last one of you guys. Kind of, and you think wow, that's pretty brutal. Yeah, it is. He was really mad because he missed 2 years of his life. He was beat up. His whole life was just horrible. And later on, this is just for future reference. Later on, that gladiatory arena was used for something called the Knights Games, and the winner of the fight would become a knight. And so you could do tap outs or kills, but the other person had to agree to it. And that's just for future reference. So yeah, they pretty much stopped doing it. He left. A new king was arose, and he was a little bit nicer, but still a scumbag, you know. And so later on, he ran. He pretty much found his father, united with his family, and pretty much he went back to the kingdom again. And it has been a year up to this point. He pretty much went back to school, did some school, and realized that wasn't what he needed to do with his life. He wanted to be a knight. And so at this point, the Knights Games was in act. And so he went, he fought valiantly, did tap outs, he wanted to do kills. So he pretty much at the end won and became a knight. And so what happened is and this is important, he was, what is it called? Doing, what is it called? He was doing a job with his father, a little bit after him becoming a knight, and he pretty much was like, "This is my last time helping you." And what happened is was running because he found out when, what is it called? In the year he took with school and stuff, he found out he had super speed. And so he was speeding away with the money and accidentally went too fast and punctured a hole through time. Went through the into the future, like I think it was 2089. That was it, 2089. And he pretty much this whole adventure went on and stuff, and he stopped some villains, got future tech and stuff, and went back into the past. Thought really like he didn't tell his father, and so life went on. And then later on, he was fighting a tyrant of a kingdom, and it was the same kingdom like with the gladiatory arena. And he accidentally ran too fast to slice the dude because he was far away. He When he was done slicing the dude, he punctured through time again. And you're probably thinking this is a lot of accidents of accidentally running too fast, but he was really like he was really mad at the dude and wanted to kill him because he was pretty much like the previous king. He sliced and went into 1943. And I'll talk a little more about what happened later in a way in the future when we're talking about World War II. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm gonna leave that for later on. Pretty much goes on this huge adventure. It's gonna be really cool when I talk about it. And he came back, got married, and actually had a son. And that's pretty much as far as I can go, and because there's still some things we're gonna have to talk about, but that's pretty much Futuristic Knight's thing. He'll be probably appearing a lot throughout this Knight's Age series we're doing. And so that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. If you liked it, drop a like and a comment because I think I saw that our comments are working again, so that's really good. And so just drop a like, a comment, subscribe, notification, and we'll pretty much see you next time, man. It's free real estate. Bye.